I'm not going to spend too much time in introduction because we have someone much more important than me that is going to introduce herself. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lynn Vardy. I'm the ADM responsible for traffic safety services in Alberta, and as part of that responsibility, my division has oversight of commercial carriers, driver training schools, driver instructors, as well as driver examiners. I will tell you that we spend a lot of time in Alberta talking about compliance, but we also spend a lot of time talking about training and how we equip the industry with better standards and expectations around training specifically.
Thank you. It's going to piss me off. Turn this
I'll think.
Please don't fire me, Matt. What's with the sweater?
Well, you know, I attended the PTTAC conference last October and had the pleasure of listening to Scott Thomas. I will say pleasure, but heartbreaking presentation on the Humboldt event. And, you know, as a regulator, that event is what keeps us awake at night. And so this jersey for me is personal. It's about making sure that I'm doing everything that I can as the regulator to ensure that we've got the safest drivers on the road. And many of you may have heard, Alberta just recently had another accident where 3 young hockey players were killed, and you know, there was a carrier involved. Now, that's not to say the carrier was at fault in the accident, but those are the things that I think about every night when I go to bed. So, Kim, what about the Team Canada jersey? What's that about, given the result?
We're still number 1. I told a bunch of Americans that yesterday. I was on a call with the Truckload Carrier Association, who many of you know, and some of their leadership team were giving it to me pretty good. But I would give it to them as well, as you all can imagine. The reason why I'm wearing this shirt is because of what we're doing in Canada as a unified group to raise the level of awareness, standards, compliance, and regulation in our industry. I have 10 or 12 Ontario sweaters, which would have been easy to wear, but this one is very easy to wear and very proud to bear it. Everybody in this room has a responsibility and a commitment to making this industry better, and I'm probably preaching to the converted for most, but make it your mission to stay involved, to give back, and to make sure that your voice is being heard, not only at your company, but I would suggest away from the industry when you're talking to your friends and the general public about just how important this industry is.
Commercial carriers, and especially the large carriers, have excellent training programs. We've actually looked at many of those programs and modeled against them, in part as we were developing the learning pathway in Alberta. When you ask what's in it for large carriers, I think what's in it for all carriers. I mean, Red Seal means we end up with a national training framework, a national competency framework. It means that drivers are trained consistently and that the standards are applied throughout Canada. So we've had large carriers in Alberta ask about, well, do I have to go through the entire training program if I have drivers who have been in the industry a long time and have had significant training opportunities? The answer is no. You won't have to go through the full program. Like many Red Seal designations, there is a challenge exam that carriers or drivers will be able to take, and if they can pass that exam, they will get their Journey Person certificate and Red Seal certification once we have that program in place. I can also tell you, as we're developing the trade designation in Alberta, we have carriers at the table with us who are the most important source of information for us in designing the competency-based program.
Can we talk a little bit, can you expand a little bit on the mobility and the recognition that comes with Red Seal from Alberta's perspective?
Yeah, and so again, I mean, Red Seal designation means that we have competency-based training nationally. And, you know, I will tell you, I think it's the biggest single issue that we have, and one of the inclusion points in the MOU, the trucking MOU with the ministers, is the development of standards around MELT and the implementation of MELT. We have MELT, and the learning pathway is considered an entry-level program, so fits within the NSC standard. We have programs throughout Canada with the exception of 2 jurisdictions right now, but the way that training is developed and delivered is different in each jurisdiction. And so CCMTA right now is looking at how do we standardize and ensure the quality of training that has been developed is being delivered consistently throughout Canada.
With not only training schools, but carriers, how is this going to help fix the compliance and regulation problem across Ontario? Do you have a comment on that?
Well, I can't fix Ontario.
Nobody can.
Yeah.
Not even us.
I can tell you, and we're already on this path, and if you have a chance to talk to Don was just audited by government. His driver training school was just audited by government, and he tells me it was a good experience, which means that he's probably running a very good driver training school. Consistent standards, consistent delivery of standards, consistent training for driver instructors, for driver examiners, detailed curriculum and competency pieces make compliance and monitoring easier. There are standards that we drive to every day to make sure that the quality of training for our drivers is as high as it can possibly be.
Now, we are securing a trade designation for Class 1 commercial drivers, which is expected to be officially launched in June of next year. We believe commercial driving should be recognized as a skilled trade, just as professions such as electricians, carpenters, and mechanics benefit from nationally consistent standards of excellence. So,
how are you? Welcome to Ontario. Last time you and I spoke, we're in Calgary for the PTTAC.
Exactly.
Yeah, big announcement today. Red Seal's a go, I guess.
Yes. The trade designation is a go in Alberta. We're anticipating implementation in June of next year.
Right. Okay. So now, you've been doing a ton of work, and thank you for that. I mean, we're watching from Ontario, going, "Come on, guys, we got to get on with the step." What's next now? So it seems like the last couple of years that I've been involved have been awareness, and here's what it is. I've got a couple of conversations coming up. What's the next step now that you've announced the going ahead of this?
Yeah, well, it's the hard work to get it in place, basically. So we're working very closely with our partner ministry, Advanced Education, and it's really now developing the detailed curriculum and competency framework.
Have you had any discussions? I know you've had a lot of discussions with insurance and carriers. Have you had any with drivers specifically? Are they what's the temperature, if you will?
I haven't had specific discussions, but the association in Alberta has. My understanding is many drivers are really looking forward to the trade designation again because it professionalizes their industry and moves them from being a non-skilled profession to a skilled profession, and that's important for folks.
It is. I'm one of those veteran drivers, and I'm actually going in to talk to a high school next week about careers. And every time I bring that up, I get the eye roll. But it saves someone like me. Like, I started when I was 18, so I'm really into this. Is Ontario on board? We're on board as far as the industry part here, like what we're seeing today. But in general, is there consensus across Canada?
I would say folks are watching Alberta to see how this goes and how it rolls out. I mean, I think, unanimously we all agree. Improving safety. If Red Seal certification does that, we all need to be working toward that goal.
Right. I'm hoping to see it. I'm hoping to see it before my lifetime. So, Lynn, please work faster. Great tribute to Scott Thomas. I talked to him in Alberta as well. So, we had another crash not too long ago. So, has that improved the need for this? We all thought that first one was going to be the last, and now we're having another one. Never mind the minor ones we see. Are you seeing more people kind of say, okay, we need to do something very...
We had another incident in Alberta, and it's a very sad time for those folks involved in it. Collisions generally, though, we're seeing an increase in collisions, not necessarily with commercial carriers, but generally, and the population in Alberta has increased, as has the number of vehicles on the road. So when that happens, when those two items come together, you start to see increases in collisions as well.
I've always thought that there should be truck questions for general car drivers. My granddaughter's 15 next year. I guess she's going to chow. And so I'm trying to educate her as we drive around about big trucks. Would that help kind of get that awareness and get it started that, hey, if we go down here, we're already aware of what they do. Now maybe the next step is interest.
Yeah, I do think it would help, and I also think marketing campaigns where you're focused specifically on, carriers and drivers and the impact of their vehicles specifically on road safety would help as well. So anything we can do to talk about, to educate, is all going to be beneficial from a safety perspective.
So what should we do now? What do I do now? I come out of here now. I'm in media. I'm always going to be promoting this. But as far as maybe a carrier that's in the room listening, or what should they do? What would be the next step for them in this process?
I would say keep talking about it. Talk to your colleagues, talk to your drivers, talk to the association, the PTTAC association, talk to your government. That's how we move the agenda forward, is through conversations like this.
Great. Well, thanks for all you do. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and thanks for joining us in Ontario. I'll see you again.